Hello, everyone. We are back with another episode of Venture with Joe and Cody. That's Cody Wilhelm with Residential Mortgage. Hello, my guy. And I'm
Yo,
Joe
how you
Skipper.
doing?
Good. I'm Joe Skipper. If you don't know,
You
with
are.
eXp Realty. Thinking about new name changes for the... First off, I just want to give everyone a heads up that Cody and I's planning for this episode was about 13 seconds long. So it will be
Yes.
random and you're
A little
just going to
shorter
have to
than
deal with
normal.
it. But what comes with that is more fun stuff from us, I think.
It's gonna
When we don't
be.
plan
It's
it.
gonna feel random, which
We're
is
not so
actually really good.
uptight that we know we're normally
No.
uptight when we have it all planned.
We're here for the people.
People
People don't
helping
want
people.
polished.
People helping
want
people.
people.
People want the real us. But
Yeah.
what was I just gonna say then? Thinking of
You were saying a heads
names.
up.
Thinking of names.
Yeah.
If you have a name for our company, drop it in the comments. Send me a text and have ideas, because we have to change our name. As I told you, we can't have Realty in our name, so we have Skipper Realty Group. We cannot have Realty in the name, so there's simple options of SRG and blah, 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 and all sorts of things. But we are leaning to something. We're leaning towards something. And I don't know if I want to say it at this episode, but I do want to hear other people's opinions on what they think we should be called. I want something timeless. This is our opportunity to potentially change the name in the event that like we can kind of make it a more universal name that, you know, if we did build a team or build a bigger brand, we can kind of move away from our name being in it.
Okay. Yeah.
But we want something that's like marketable. I know we've talked about this before, but real estate agents are boring and their logos are boring and their name is boring. So
Right.
we really want something that's kind of not to shoot for the moon, but kind of like a Nike-esque, like some sort of just like statement name that's clean, that can be worn on shirts, can be worn, you know, can be marketed as a brand versus something that's kind of a cheesy thing. So
well,
if you got any suggestions, go for it. You don't have to tell me now, but
that tends to get more questions too. Hey, what is that? What brand is that?
Exactly. This little cute little lion here has had so many questions and so many people like, oh, I really like your lion logo. And yeah, it normally just builds that. So I think the company, I want the name to be that way too. Kind of not obscure, but kind of like, you know, this is it. So anyways, more to come on that. We might get sooner than later because I think we want to get our marketing. We have till July, I think, of next year, but it's like, might as well just start doing it. Like, what are we doing? Like, wait till the last second and then do it. So anyways, we want to get proactive on it and get our stuff.
You can't have real estate, realty, like that kind of.
If you're a team underneath a big brokerage, like we're underneath eXp Realty, they can have it because they're the I forgot what it's called. It's some technical term of like a managing brokerage or something like that. They can have it, but we can't have it because it confuses the average person. They think that Skipper Realty Group is its own company. So it's very confusing. Very. And I'm not being sarcastic at all. It's very confusing.
No, I'm confused. I don't
like
know.
You don't want to work with me because you don't know if you're working for eXp Realty or if you're working for Skipper Realty Group. Like it's very hard.
Right.
So
yeah. Well, because I think most people choose their real estate agent based on the company, right? They're not it's not the individual in the service or anything like that.
No, we get a lot of like inquiries of like from just eXp Realty. Everyone's like, we want to work with eXp Realty, pick the agent. Yeah. And so, yeah, we get those random calls.
We don't care. We're just a family of eXp lovers.
So annoying. But yeah, so we're changing it up, but that's good. It gives us an opportunity to do that. And I think we've got some cool names. Kids have already approved the initial thoughts of the name. So that's good.
Wow.
Normally like my 13-year-old's like dumb, you know, dumb, just constantly like everything, every suggestion.
Sure.
Like that's stupid. And I'm like, okay, this one was like, he was like, okay.
Wow.
Yeah. So are you excited to hear it? Maybe I'll tell you off air. I can't tell people now.
I'm curious to know which direction you're going. Cause I have some thoughts in my head on where it could be going.
Yeah, there's lots of paths.
I don't know. Maybe you're going away from the lion, or maybe you're just.
That'd be a bad breakup.
The lion
bad breakup.
Group. Can you be group? Can you still be group?
You can be group. You can be. I think you can even be property. I think you can be something properties.
Homes, property.
Real estate is super confusing. House. But I don't know if I want to go like with a property. I don't necessarily want to associate the name with what it does. Some people say that's stupid. Some people, I'm like, I kind of like it unique, you know, that it can be kind of worn, a brand that's worn, a brand that's like you're proud of and people can wear, and people ask, oh, what's this company? And you're like, oh,
Yeah.
this is who it is. So,
right. Well, and then that way, when it takes off and turns into this big old giant,
like Nike.
you can, you can sell it, and it's not like oh, well, why would they want to have, Realty?
Yeah, no one wants
real
Skip or
estate,
Realty
homes,
Group,
No, which, I mean, somebody does.
Someone does.
And this is a national thing.
Family.
This is not is this an Oregon thing, or is this
Oregon, I believe.
Oregon specific.
Oregon. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not sure if any of your buddies in Washington will have to do it, but I think Oregon specific for now. So
okay.
Yeah. So anyways, it's not a big deal. I just think it provides a good opportunity for us. So if you have any suggestions, anyone, just throw them out there. I probably will reject all of them, but it's worth a shot to just throw them out there. Just be prepared for me to say no or hard pass. And then if it gets by me, it's got to get through Christina, which is even harder than me. Then it's got to get through even the worst, the 2 kids. So
yeah,
you're fighting an uphill battle
I'm not even going to share an option.
Maybe I'll do like $100, like $100 for someone who wins it.
Oh, there you go.
That'd be kind of cool.
Wait, for somebody that guesses it correctly,
that actually just wins the name. Like that gets me a name that's like, this is it.
It makes it through all the gatekeepers.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Or a share in the future stock of the large company that we're building.
True. Yeah. Millionaires in
when we sell it for $100 million, you get $1 million.
Yeah.
So
you get a hat.
We'll see. Well, since we're winging it, what's the deal, man? Another thing I'm thinking of, I think I've talked about office space and making our guest room an office space, and I really want to like trick it out really nicely. So we're taking those steps too, hiring a designer to kind of come and take a look and say, make this like a real cool like podcast office.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about it though. I was like, a lot of the things that I see on Pinterest, and everyone comment, if you're listening, comment on this stuff because I would love to hear your thoughts. But I was like, they have a lot of these ones that are just set up for like 2 chairs and things like that. And I was like, that's great. And I was like, would Cody come down to my house and sit in my guest room and sit and talk weekly to each other? I just thought it was funny when they structure the rooms like that. It's normally like, oh, someone comes in and you sit down and blah, blah, which is totally fine. But I just thought
I'd come down there.
It's like Cody's like, hey guys, what's for lunch? Let's we grab a chair real fast, and then we'll go get some food. So which would actually be fun. But
I'd love it.
Anyways,
and then the weather turns, and we can play some golf afterwards. I mean,
that's true. That's true. Yeah. Maybe we make a thing of this.
I think so.
So that's it in my life, man. The work life is picking up. Well, it's always picking up, and that's a good thing. It's just the market's weird. If we've talked about this. Agents talk about it currently. I just talked to one this morning that's like, the market is weird. Like, it's like,
yes.
And I hate like not having answers for people, but I could make something up and tell you the market is X for this. Like, it's amazing for buyers. It's amazing for sellers. But man, it's just a funky market. Are you seeing the same stuff?
Yes. I'm seeing that what feels like things are slowly becoming a little bit more normal as much as they're not. They're still weird, but it feels like there's more of I don't know. There's becoming more of an understanding and acceptance of homes sitting on the market for longer. I don't feel like it's as much of like a red flag. Now I feel like it's kind of being viewed like, all right, well, hey, maybe we got some advantage because that house has been on the market for 65 days.
For sure.
So it's kind of being looked at, I think, as less of a concern. Why is it sitting there? And it's more of
you're right.
opportunity. And I don't know from the seller's standpoint, but I would think that there's probably slowly becoming more of an adjustment to, all right, our house might be on the market for 30, 60, 90 days, whatever, 100 days. I don't know, but it feels like there's more of a norm. I think there's more of a norm with the interest rate side of things. We probably react more than what the average person does, but I'm noticing more and more people are ready. They've done a little bit of research. They've done the mortgage calculators that are usually not great because they default to 20%, but they are seeing the rate, they're seeing the payment, they're kind of adjusting to it. I'm talking to more people now that are saying, I don't want to get rid of my 2.875 rate, but we just don't like this house anymore. It's just not the right fit. Like, whatever. The neighbors, the yard, the development that they were in is now that much bigger. Whatever it is, I think that there's becoming more of a norm to it all rather than I got this deal on this house or this rate that is, I can't let go of it.
Yeah.
To where now it's starting to feel like, it sucks, but we're ready. we're more ready to find something different than we are the pain of like, oh, our lower payment and our rate. I think we're probably getting into that time too, where, you look at all the COVID purchasing, 20, 21, 22. We're starting to creep into where people have had time in those houses for a few years to realize they don't, it's not what we thought it was, or it worked good for those couple years, but then we've had another kid, or our kids are all gone now. Like there's just life, a lot of life happens in a matter of a couple years. So I think it's slowly shifting, and people are getting tired of waiting. And not that it's like this booming market, but I mean, you've seen it. We just had one recently where there's multiple offers on houses, and that seems to be not an uncommon thing now, which seems weird because that seems to be the case in like a booming market where everybody's buying, and there's millions of buyers out there that are shopping in a small area, and it feels like that's still the case, even
Yeah.
though it's not a crazy market right now. So
Yeah,
still
it's
active.
you are like we read each other's minds with this stuff, and it sounds redundant, but it was two things that I wanted to say, and you kind of covered one of them is, you were saying that people are in the 2.75% rate, 3% rate. Back in COVID, they bought. What we're experiencing as selling agents on that note is that those buyers at 2.75% were bidding 50, 60, 70, 100, 150, even more than what the house was worth at the time because of the rate. And so now what we're seeing when rates are up, those sellers have to sell. They don't want to leave the 2.75, but they've got to sell because of size, divorce, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Now they're wanting a price that reflects more than what they paid, but it's not that case. So we're starting to see that overinflated pricing hurt sellers coming into the market now that bought during COVID, because they're
Okay.
actually they're either selling it for what they bought it for or maybe a little bit less. There's like the caveat to that is that they paid more than what it was, the market value. I guess you could argue the market value was what it was. So they paid market value back then. But because those things aren't inflated anymore, buyers are coming in. And so what we're seeing with sellers is like, I need to make more than what I paid for it. It's like, well, that's not in the cards anymore, And
Right.
so we're seeing a lot of struggle with sellers, particularly in this time, that are like, shoot, like I paid 70,000 over asking and I need to sell it 3 years later and I need to make 70,000 over, or that 70,000 over asking is now that they want more than that. And it's
Sure.
sometimes the case, but sometimes it's like you have to actually offer a lesser selling price.
Mhm.
So than what you bought it for.
It's tough because we've seen
Yeah,
nothing but appreciating homes
I know,
since what, 11, 12
for sure.
maybe is when everything kind of started to. So you had a 10, 12 year, 13-year run.
Oh, for sure. And I'm not saying that it's for every house, but we are seeing, especially those people that put, 2% down. And so, they're ultimately selling for a similar price than what they bought it for. Obviously, you paid money down, so you have some profit, but once you come out with the closing costs and all that stuff, it just ends up being kind of a bummer to a lot of people. And I think they think that, I paid 100,000 over asking, so 7 years from now or 6 years, we've been in the house 6 years. It's got to be worth 150, 200,000 over asking. It's like, no, maybe it's worth
Right.
105 over asking, or
Yeah.
or five over what you paid for it. So yeah, it's overall still appreciating, but we are seeing those individuals that are like, shoot, I got to take a hit
Uh-huh.
on this, to get
Yeah.
out. So
Well,
yeah,
we've
kind
seen
of a
that
bummer.
on our house because we bought our house in 21. So it was like right in the middle of all of it, of all the chaos. And you get these alerts from Redfin and Zillow and places like, hey, here's what your new home value is. And so just watching that over the years, I want to say we bought it in 21, and I don't think it really showed, according to their algorithms, that it appreciated for like 3 years. It was pretty much like there was points where it was a little below what we paid for it, and then it would be up a little bit. We're just now getting to the point where it's actually appreciated some, and
Yeah,
we're what, 5 years, almost 5 years
yeah,
into owning it. So I think there
yeah,
is just like you ride out the lows or ride out the highs, whatever you're needing to do, and eventually it's going to get back to a point where it's moving along again. But yeah, there's definitely we've seen that for sure. And I've ran into
yeah.
more people over the last couple of years that are in that boat and they're needing to sell. And to your point exactly, they by the time everything's taken out with closing costs and everything,
Yeah. Yeah.
they're actually losing some money.
Yeah. It's crazy. So,
Yeah.
and we knew it was going to happen. It's just unfortunate to
Yeah.
see it in real life. We knew that was,
Totally.
with people overbidding by that much
Hmm.
money just because they could afford it at that time.
Yeah.
It did. I don't know if this is the right term. Did it artificially inflate the market? I don't know if that's
Yeah.
artificially is the right
I think
term.
so.
Um, but it was like because you would list a house at what the agents would come in listing the house at what market value was. And
Hmm.
then people would come in and say, I'm paying you 50,000 more, 80,000 more. So your home has appreciated, but you just paid
Right.
that's ton of money before,
Yeah.
and so now you're taking that hit because you decided to pay that. And I'm not knocking people for doing it at all. It's just is what it is with that. And so I don't know if like you agree the proper term is artificial, but it was like, it wasn't in the sense that everyone was doing it. So the market was
Right.
dictating that, but it
Yeah.
wasn't it was based on your interest rate. It wasn't based on that house is worth it.
Hmm.
It was only worth
Yeah.
it because my interest rate was that versus like that was worth it, if that makes sense. Are we
Yeah.
diving
I
too
think
deep
it
into
was,
it? Like,
yeah. Yeah.
it's just a
Artificial
weird,
rates
yeah,
that created that
absolutely. And they were artificial
weirdness.
rates. They
They
were fake
were.
rates.
Yep.
There was the government saying, whatever, like, let's just lower. And I'm not saying they were wrong to do it. It's just when they put that into place, now we're seeing the ramifications of some of the sellers. And the ones we deal with, at least thankfully right now, are the ones that, they generally have the income to figure it out and make the deal. And which leads to my next point is the market is never going to be good for both buyers and sellers at the same time. So anyone that's waiting for that perfect world of like, okay, I sold for high and I'm buying low, it's just not in the cards. Like, and so what we're seeing with those people that maybe are taking a little bit of a hit on the sale of their home are able to kind of make up for that in the purchase of the other home. So it may not be great for you as a seller, but
Yeah.
we are seeing better buyer activity, and closing cost concessions and price reductions and sellers willing to work. So just to let everyone know, you're never going to have a good seller's market and a good buyer's market at the exact same time. It will always be one or the other. It is a seesaw, and that seesaw is very rarely sitting at the same point.
Yeah.
And so what we're seeing with that is, I guess I wanted to kind of put that out there to people to say, you know, don't don't get discouraged if you're a seller and you're not getting exactly what you wanted out of it. As a buyer, you can get a lot more than you think. And
Hmm.
so, and for buyers, if you're in that market, you can get good rates. So it's just, yeah. Anyways, I don't know where I'm
Yeah.
going with that, but
No, I think it's always a good point to be made too, because depending on your situation, if you're only selling or you're only buying, you might only get one of the benefits.
for
If you're
sure, for
selling
sure,
and buying at the same time, like you said, you might take a hit on one and you're gonna gain
yeah,
on the other. So
for
it's gonna
sure,
net out probably pretty even. But it's hard because I think a lot of people, that the buying or selling of a home is not necessarily something, okay, we've planned this out for 3 years and we've
yeah,
timed it just right. It's usually there's a life situation that's come up. You've got a better job, you have to move, you got kids now, or whatever it is. And it's like, well, we just need to buy in this market. And maybe this
for
isn't
sure,
the perfect market. It's like buying a car during COVID, like you buy at the wrong time and then you got to sell it at the wrong time. And I mean, unless you can just ride it out for another handful of years, which who knows what that's even going to look like then. It's just the investment side of it, and I think that's where sometimes things get lost. Is that it is a home, and it obviously that's the main goal with it, but it is also an investment. So if
yeah,
you if you feel like you bought it at the wrong time, just like any investment, if you ride it out, you're going to come out on top. It's just can you ride it out for
for sure.
5 years? Because if you try to sell it again next year, maybe you're not going to make anything, but you ride through the little dips and you're probably going to be fine and come out positive and happy, but
Yeah, and
it's
that's,
not always that
yeah,
easy.
you're just, it's not like yeah, buying low, selling high, all that stuff. I think you can kind of get intertwined with the stock market and thinking in those sort of thinking process. And
Yeah.
I just think like, with real estate, if you're selling high, if you're selling high, you're generally buying high. If you're selling
Yeah.
low, you're generally buying low too. So there's pros and cons to the real estate market. But you're right. Like you could ride it out like a stock market, and if you had the funds to wait till the market
Hmm.
lowers, like I think it's a good time to buy right now. I think you have more opportunity in the market right now to buy. Sellers still have opportunity. It's just going to be different, depending on where
Hmm.
you're at. So,
Yeah.
anyways, but there's less pent up tension in the market. I think down to what you were
Yeah.
saying, like the normalcy, there's not no one feels, it doesn't feel like people, it may not be exciting. Like it's not an exciting market, but people are, they're just hanging out. I don't
Yeah.
think anyone's waiting on the edge of their seat like, man, if rates hit 5.75, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to go nuts. Like,
Yeah.
I think that people realize the rates. They're more hesitant for sure. But I also don't think there's a stress or a tension built up in the market of like, gosh, man, if the rates went down, I'm just going to go nuts. You know,
Right.
it would maybe naturally happen a little bit. You know, if you get to the 5.5s, you're probably going to have a lot more buyers come in. But I think just personally, I can say, and maybe you can too, is it's just more normal. Like everyone's
Yeah.
just kind of normal.
I think so, which is potentially going to put us in a situation over the next, I don't know, however long it takes to get there. But when we do get to that 5.5 range, because I think that that's kind of the barrier, the beginning of everybody's going to start to buy more,
Yeah.
right? When we do get there, because we're starting to feel like things are normal-ish, more normal, everybody's getting adjusted to everything, that it's going to be a very busy time, I think, when we do see, when this war ends over in Iran. I think we're going to see a lot of movement. It might be a little delayed, you know, based on inflation and what those numbers look like. Does that kind of prolong things a little bit? But I think once we do start to get there, the market is primed, and it's priming right now for a busy, busy time, and not just a spring, summer busy, but like
Yeah.
overall, we've had a lot of pent up people that are waiting, and now it's starting to get normal. Well, enough, you know,
they're
a
still
couple
there.
years go by. They're
Yeah,
still there. They're still
there.
waiting.
They're just not as like kind of, I think we were on the edge of our seat week to week thinking
Yes.
this could happen and wait
Right.
till the Fed say something, wait till this next Fed meeting. And I think
Right.
people are like, F it. I'm just going to, if it
Yeah.
looks good time to buy or sell, this is it. And that's good. I think that's healthy.
I think so
personally.
too.
So
Yeah. Because it should be about your situation, not the market. Because you're going to wait forever. It's never going to feel like the right time because prices are too high, rates are too high.
absolutely.
There's too many people. We have to jump quickly. It's too competitive, whatever. Like there's so many reasons why you could convince yourself not to, but that's with all big financial decisions. It's hard because it's scary and it's unknown, but you know, that's just, you could rent
Just what it
forever
is,
and
man. Got to work with
yeah.
a good team that like gets you kind of set up for the time that you need it and the
Yep.
pricing and stuff that you need it. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, we were gonna go over stuff, but I feel like we're coming up on time.
Well, I have
Anything
I
else?
have one in my head that kind of goes
Okay.
along with this. Okay, so
Do
one
it.
of the questions that we were going to talk about was the HGTV kind of persona, you know, what we've seen over the last handful of years. I don't know if it's still as popular as it was, but do you run into people that, especially when you're showing them houses or maybe even listing houses, where HGTV has completely like screwed their overall mindset on buying a house, renovating a house, flipping houses,
Yeah.
to where, you
Yeah.
know, they make it look very sexy and fun and easy and profitable. Do you
For
run
sure.
into people still that are kind of like that's their thing?
No, not as much. But man, that industry or that like TV series and that stuff has literally ruined people, like
Yeah.
especially flippers and things like that. Because
Uh-huh.
it's always funny. You go to those things and they're in California and they're like, "Oh, we got to remodel this kitchen. We're going to remodel it for $8,000." I'm like, "No, you're not." And no normal person is ever going to be able to remodel a kitchen for $8,000. And you know, it's just it's very deceiving. And people don't know the background of that. Of those people are, you know, one, getting produced, two, contractors are getting, you know, probably taking a hit because or not, they're giving a discount so that they get marketed on TV. All the
Sure.
stuff of like, oh, this whole cabinetry kit for the entire kitchen was $3,000. I'm like, no, it wasn't. Like
Yeah.
not the average person. So I haven't
Right.
experienced it lately. Maybe it's because I'm old and I don't care anymore about HGTV.
Yeah.
But I don't see it, but I did remember a lot of people, you know, a lot of people questioned it. Like, hey, what is a bathroom remodel? Like, what is a kitchen remodel? I looked at HGTV or I watched this show, and a lot of them were skeptical, but they were like, they did a bathroom remodel for like $3,000. Is that possible? I'm like,
Right.
not, I could do it for $3,000, but it's not going to look like
You're
it's not going to look
right.
like you want. That's for sure. Um, it shows your recording stopped, Cody. Is he back? Let's see.
I'm here.
You're there. Why is your
Yeah.
recording stopping? Stop it.
I don't know. I had an
No.
alarm that went off. I
Oh,
didn't know
nice.
that would stop the
Nice.
recording.
No, I don't think it's affected us directly. It probably did when it was super hot, and maybe I'm just not in that market where it's super hot and
Yeah.
people care. It's like, so I haven't noticed it, but it is fake. So anyone that's paying attention, Selling Sunset, fake. Everyone's like, have you watched Selling Sunset? I'm like, no, it's not real. Like, it's
Yeah.
just not real. It might be real for them, but it's definitely not real estate, real life.
Yeah.
One thing, let me just go before we go. It bothers me. This, so what I see for the agents out there or anyone that's like with the AI and worried about AI and all this stuff, the clickbait that I see more and more from real estate agents is just, it bugs me now because it is totally like, one of them was like, if agents are going to, like, 8 million billion gazillion agents are going to leave the market in the next 5 years. And it's
Oh, yeah.
because they don't know how to use AI. They use it like a write my email. So, which is fine. Like, you can dig into the AI, but how he said that, you should use AI, and if you're not doing it, you're just not behind. He's like, you should be putting your sales contract in AI and have it spit out a summary of the contract. I'm like, okay, like that. Okay,
Right.
that's what your insight is to help agents
Uh-huh.
survive in this industry, that you upload a PDF into ChatGPT and have it
Right.
summarize it. That's your, like, magical
That's
information.
the thing.
I just think,
Yeah.
I'm like, it is just sad to see that, like, agents come in just trying to recruit more agents into their team. I know that's what it is try to come with me and I'll show you how to do this hard stuff.
Right.
And it's like, it just, I don't know, it bugs me. I have nothing else to say besides that it just
Mhm.
bugs me seeing this
Yeah.
now, because they're taking advantage of AIs and making agents that are insecure say that, oh, this is what you need. This is who you need.
Right.
This is who you should follow, because they know how to upload a PDF into ChatGPT, and that's what's going to separate the good agents from the bad agents. And I'm like,
You know,
throw
that
up.
is that is a funny thing that you bring that up, because I've been thinking this more recently, especially as more and more people are using AI for just basic life things,
Yeah,
right? Like
yeah.
asking it questions and stuff.
And that's totally fine, by the way.
I
Like,
I
if you're an
think that
agent
it
doing that, and, like,
yeah,
if anyone says, "Oh, you're going to be gone," it's like, that's just normal now. That's like
right.
Googling, like, you just
Totally.
AI. So don't knock people for
Yeah.
agents for if that's all they do. Like, anyways, go
Right.
ahead.
I wonder though, for something like that, especially when it's used as a like a sales tool, how many people are actually going to absorb less information because AI is doing the
Yeah,
work? And it's like, because if
absolutely.
you put it in there and it spits out an email and it looks nice and you can send this over and say, "Hey, here's a summary of this."
Totally.
You still, yeah, you probably know it because you wrote it up. But
Totally.
if you went out and wrote that email, you're bullet pointing those things, and then they come back to you and ask, you're gonna be like, I don't know. I'd have to go back and look at that and see.
For
I
sure.
don't really remember,
And
But
AI
I
is not
think
perfect, and it will,
no,
and you can get into a lot of trouble. And I think agents need to be careful with that. Yeah, it's good to pump it out, give it a summary, but you need to
sure,
look at that contract and
yes,
make sure that it's right, because they mess up and
uh
they
huh,
don't scan the whole document, or they don't scan it how you want. But you're right.
right,
Like, I think people are going to get in a lot of trouble. I think agents will get into a lot of trouble when clients find out that, wait, you just pumped it into AI and gave me all this
right,
advice,
yeah,
and I didn't use your expertise, I didn't use anything, and now I got screwed on this house. Or,
yeah.
yeah, it could really hurt people, I think. It'll
Well, and
all
I
change.
think
It'll all, like, there'll be rules
yeah,
and stuff put in place, but right now it's the wild, wild west. You can do whatever you want. And so, yeah, that's an interesting topic, but yeah.
yeah, and I think that more and more too, as people start to use it, because it spits out a very similar like style of response, that people are going to have to start changing that more and more, because now I start to see stuff, whether it's an email
Yeah.
or a
Yeah.
post or something, and I'm like, that was, you
Okay.
can tell that
Okay,
was,
ChatGPT.
yes, the way that it was all
Yeah,
worded, the way it was
for
laid out with
sure.
the icons and everything. I'm like, that was a total AI thing.
I
I
just had
actually
a
saw
recent
that on,
sale that I was like telling Christina, we had a whole sale went through, and it was like, I was like, look at this agent's emails. They're all ChatGPT. Like,
uh-huh.
every single one. She did not write a single thing in there.
Wow.
It was just funny. And it went fine, but it was just so funny because you
Sure.
could tell. I was like, that is not
Yeah.
an agent. That's not someone talking. That is
Right.
ChatGPT talking to me. So,
Yeah. Once you use it enough, you start to see the way that it responds and gives you feedback and everything. And I
for
actually
sure.
saw this on it was a YouTube video, and it was like somebody talking about, I had looked to see, random thing, if coffee and creatine, if you could mix them
Put
together,
them
if there was
together.
any
Yeah.
type of issues, right? So I watched this video, and every response from the person who created the video, I could tell was just an AI response.
Yeah.
It's probably just one of those bots that you can attach to
For
it, and it's
sure.
just going to answer whatever question. But
For sure.
it's funny as you start to, I guess the people that don't use it very much aren't going to know, but the people that start to use AI more and more, you can just start to catch on to some of that stuff.
Totally.
And then it makes you go, well, I mean, good for you, but at the same time, I want a response from the actual person.
For sure. For sure. Okay. Well, we've covered it, man. We were going to go into other random stuff, but we did it.
Now we have 34 other topics for later.
Yeah, exactly. Okay. We got the whole year ahead of us.
Yeah, right?
If you guys haven't already, like and subscribe to our stuff. Head to our YouTube pages. Head to I want to say Spotify. Spotify. Maybe that's...
Is that your new company?
That's our new brand.
Spotify.
Yeah, it has to have been taken.
That
right?
could cover a variety of industries.
We could write a book on going potty with kids. So
could be a weed store, could be a bathroom.
No, that's true. So you're thinking Potify. I was thinking Potify, like podcast.
Yeah, I mean, I think it could.
But Potify, we could do that too.
It could be a variety of industries. That's what you wanted, right?
Man. Okay, man. Well, till next time. It was good to see you, and we'll chat with you.
You as well. All right. Sounds good, man. See ya.